I can tell after about 90 seconds, winner, loser. The ability to present yourself physically without speaking a word, your presence, your aura is a big deal because you only walk into a room and meet new people once. And they're looking at you, you're looking at them, and it's how you deal with that nervousness, that nervous energy.
The biggest question I get is, so when do you rest? When do you recover?
Yeah.
And I don't want to scare people, but the truth answer is, I don't take any days off.
No days.
No days.
7 days a week.
7 days a week.
Well, like, what is a normal day?
So let's say a light day.
Light day.
Light day is at least a 7-mile run, calisthenics plus gym workout. So I don't do any gym workout without hitting pull-ups, push-ups. I call it nickels and dimes. 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, or I'll go, quarters and whatever, like it's like 25 pull-ups or in like 50 push-ups. So I have all these different things I mess up. So I will do weights with calisthenics, and every single night I stretch.
Banks run the world. The rich run the world. They don't care if you're communist or capitalist. So let's say you save $1 US or €1, 1 yen. The banking system can lend out 10. The entire system is called the fractional reserve system. The fractional reserve system is also printing money. And then they tell you to save money. They want you to save money so they can lend out your money 10 times. So your dollar became worthless 10 times over. And then they used to pay you 10% interest on your money. Now it's at best 1%, and they're still lending it out 10 times. So that's why you don't save money, is because your money is becoming worth less and less and less and less and less. The banks are getting richer and richer and richer. Then they tax you on that interest they pay you. That 1% interest, if they pay you that much. Japan is 0. And the Japanese are so stupid, they still save money.
We also have 0.
Yeah, and they still save money. How stupid is that? So that's what I would question. So how come that happens? Now, if I borrow money, guess what? Do I pay taxes on debt?
I guess no.
Why is that?
No,
this is what I'm saying, okay? Question everything.
Okay.
So when they lend out money, that's how money is created. Money is debt.
How do you store value then? Because we all work and we have, let's say, a lifespan of when we are productive, and then comes retirement, and you retired early.
Because I don't follow the go to school, get a job, work hard, save. So that's hypnosis. They hypnotize people into being employees who will work hard, pay taxes, save money, get out of debt, and invest in the stock market. Till you question those sayings, those words, you'll be a poor person. So when they lend out them, why is debt tax-free?
I don't know.
Because that's how money is created. And so the banks love it. They love people who borrow lots of money. So how do I get rich? I borrow money. And I buy assets with it.
People working anywhere in the world, born anywhere in the world, can create a product and make it available to anyone in the world. The most used messaging app in Southeast Asia was built by a young man born in Ukraine who moved to the US. And the 3 most popular viral games in the US in recent years came from entrepreneurs in Finland, Ireland, and Vietnam. You're the ones building the next Google, the next Spotify, the next Tesla, the next, well, we don't even know. But what I know is it's the idea that matters. It didn't matter where you come from or what your background is. One revolutionary idea, one brilliant invention can unleash other entrepreneurs to revolutionize industries in ways you could never predict.
The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life.
Nobody else is going to wake up and care more about your life than you. If you won't wake up every day and say, I need to get rich, nobody else is going to wake up and say, I need to make him rich.
Yeah.
Nobody else is going to do it for you. So if you don't think it, nobody else is going to think it, which means nobody thinks it. So it's down to you.
Put your hands up like this, and and look at your left hand, and if this finger isn't longer than this finger, you squat the P. Mine is 15 to 1800, and it starts with that hand.
The world's gonna know my dad's last name. I said, Dad, they're gonna have to kill this guy. They're gonna know your last name. They're going to know your last name. How much you did for all of these freaking people in your family. They're gonna know your last name. They're gonna have to kill me. They're gonna know your last name. What are you saying? We're regular people. What is the matter with you? Why are you saying stuff? I understand. But they're gonna know who you are and how many people's lives you changed. Your son's gonna show the world what you're all about. You'll see.
Kings have honor, soldiers have bravery, and poets have heart. But all I have is...
When you see a person who is often silent and avoids people, try to stay close to him, because he has been given wisdom.
Fill, empty, use. Fill your mind in the afternoons with things like books, learning, and socialization. Empty your mind in the evening with things like journaling, planning, and meditation. Use your mind in the morning with things like creation, output, and focus. A balance of clarity, productivity, and creativity is the perfect formula for a fulfilling day.
I remember walking up to this guy that drove this Rolls Royce, and I did something that was unthinkable. I asked him, how do you make your money? And what he told me was actually pretty profound. He drove me around to a lot of different places, and he said, if you really, really want to know, there's one place I want to show you in particular. And as we were driving around, it was a bunch of different houses and a bunch of different places. And I was like, okay, well, what is it? What do you do specifically? And he said, well, son, everything that you've seen here is what I do. And I was a little confused. I was like, well, we drove past a bunch of different businesses. We drove past houses. We drove past a bunch of land. Like, what is it that you do? He said, that's exactly it. And I don't do anything. I own. He said that every different business that you drove past, I don't own the business. I own the properties. He said, all of the properties that you drove past, I don't live there. I own them, and people pay me rent. He said, even that farmland that you drove past with all of those crops growing, I don't own those crops. But what I do own is the land. Ownership, he told me, was the key to becoming financially independent. He said, the more that you own, the less that they can take from you. I took this principle and it changed my life. This was maybe 20 years ago. And now I became a real estate investor in several different other things that I decided to own. But ownership has changed my life, and I teach other people how to do it as well. Check my link in my bio if you're interested.
Now, am I the only one that knows this? Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into the lazy habit of thinking. Einstein only wanted you to take action. Now, how come nobody else says this? Happens to be true.
What is your income, dude?
Around $320,000 a month.
Phenomenal. A month?
Yeah.
A month?
Yeah.
How old are you?
24.
One day, the people that don't even believe in you will tell everyone how they met you. Be selfish with your time. A lot of people don't deserve it. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one.
I remember one day my dad was playing poker. I was like, Dad, I need a new pair of Converse, right? And he's like, I see those shoes on your feet. They still work. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, when you have a job, you can buy whatever you want. But until then, those shoes still work. And I'm like, Dad, I can't get a job. I'm 12 years old. And one of his poker buddies speaks up and goes, I got a job for you. I'm like, what? He goes, I've got these boxes of garbage bags, and you can go sell them around the neighborhood. And I'm like, cool. I would go to our neighbors. And I go, hi. I'm your neighbor, Mark. Do you use garbage bags?
You sound like a shark.
Yeah, right? And of course, everybody uses garbage bags. So I'll never forget, they cost me $3 for a box of 100. I would sell them for $6, and I would just take them to them every couple of weeks whenever they needed more garbage bags. And I'm making $20 a week, which was like big time. And I got my shoes, and you know, that taught me to be confident. And that taught me that I could sell. And that taught me that selling was helping, not convincing.
You have two choices. Either listen to me or you go back. Back where you fucking started, Luigi. Someone has to fucking flip the burgers, dumbass.
Have you got any advice for 21-year-olds? Oh, I've got loads of pieces of advice. If you know what you want to do and you need a university degree to do it, then obviously pursue that. If you don't know what you want to do, going to university is going to burn 3 or 4 years of your time and likely get you into a bunch of debt and a bunch of trouble that you don't need. That's the first thing. 2, stop trying to live like the man unless you've actually become the man first. And that means women. Don't chase women too much. Don't chase having fun too much. Don't chase clout too much. Don't try to be seen, cool places that you can't actually afford to be in. That's all good advice.
Hello, sir. Did you witness anything strange in the area?
What, witness?
Yes.
Is this camera on?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh, no, I ain't seen nothing. I ain't seen nothing. Matter of fact, I'm blind in my left eye and 43% blind in my right eye. I don't see much of nothing. Matter of fact, I can't even see you, sir.
What would you choose between Apple or Tesla if you had the money to buy it?
What's that?
The companies. If you had the money to buy Apple or Tesla, what would you buy?
I just told you I don't invest in the stock market.
But in companies, in businesses.
I wouldn't invest in either of them.
Either of them?
No, because I don't get my money back. I want my money back.
Okay. Gold or Bitcoin?
Gold.
Fight or flight?
That's a stupid question.
Sometimes people that fight lose.
So what? What's wrong with losing?
Okay.
Question what you've been taught, and you ask me superficial questions rather than why wouldn't I invest in Apple or Tesla? See, that's a more important question.
That's an open question. You can do what.
But why wouldn't I invest in them?
Because you don't get your money back.
Yes.
What is the word of the day?
I don't know.
Bro, it's Saturday. What's the word of the day?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter if it's Monday, Tuesday, all the way to Sunday. The word of the day is the same. What's the word of the day? Cash! Word of the day is cash. I wake up in the morning and I check the bank. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I do.
No, you don't understand. I wake up. First thing I do, I grab my phone, bitches, hoes, cancel all that. I check the bank. I check the internet banking app. And guess what it's full of?
Cash.
Cash! I ain't borrowing money from no bank. I go to the bank and say, you can hold my money for me. I don't have to go there and say, oh, please, I need help to buy a house. I do everything in cash. This house, ironclad, like a bat fucking cave. What did I buy it with? Cash. $35,000 watch, cash. $5,000 shirt, cash. You see that hot tub?
Cash?
Cash! I ain't playing games. I got fit hoes, beautiful women in the pimp game. I got Bitcoin on the blockchain. It's all cash. I'm Mr. Cash. People come along and go, I'm asset rich, my assets. Assets? I got cash. Talk about fucking assets. One by one, we can talk about everything I own. And I bought it with the same motherfucking thing. Cash. Look, let's look over here. Let's have a conversation about the Aston Martin V12. 6-liter, only 175 in the world, special edition. Most of them are in car collections. Mine's out here on the streets, and I bought it in cash. Lamborghini Huracan, drop top, Spider, deflected, cash. I went into Porsche, bought a 992, then sent it to Germany, spent extra money on the body kit, the power kit, upgraded it, and I did it all in fucking cash. What's the word of the day?
Cash.
Cash!
So the question is, how do the rich not pay taxes? So Tom, how much tax do employees pay?
Typically, it's going to be about 40%.
So if I'm going to start my own little business, I'm going to, start my little pizza shop or my coffee shop, how much do these guys pay?
So now it goes up as high as 60%.
Now, big business, as 500 employees or more, how much do they pay?
Typically around the world, about 20%.
And then the professional investors. See, these guys are passive. These guys invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds. They save money. They're passive guys. They pay the highest taxes. But how much does a professional investor, like Shark Tank, how much do these guys pay?
So they can pay as little as 0%. They can actually completely eliminate their tax.
How to get rich? All right, that's a good question. So I would say do two things. The first thing I would say you should do is develop a phone addiction. And you should develop a phone addiction, but you should refuse to consume content and only create content. It's about attention and it's about network. It's those two things. It's who you know and it's how many people pay attention to you. So if you develop a phone addiction and you refuse to consume and you only create, you'll start to attract attention sooner or later. And when you can do that, there's usually lots of different ways to monetize it. So if someone came to me and said, I have nothing, no skills, no money, nothing, and I had to get rich, I'd say that's what you should do.
I got to tell you the story of the Chinese farmer. Tell me. There's a farmer, and he lives with his son, and they have one horse, and the horse runs away. And everyone from the town comes by that night, and they said, the horse ran away, and they say, oh no, what terrible news. He said, I don't know, it's good news or bad news, we don't know yet. And the next day, the horse came back with 2 other horses, and everyone from the town came by, and they said, what great news, now you have 3 horses. And he said, well, I don't know if it's good news or bad news. And then the next day, the son went out and trained one of the new horses and fell and broke his back. And everyone from the town came by and said, oh no, what terrible news. He said, I don't know if it's good or bad news. And the next day, the constable from the military came by and said, we're taking all able-bodied young men to join the military. And they said, my son has a broken back, he can't go to the army. And then everyone from the town came by that night and they said, oh, good news, your son didn't have to go to the army.
Stop it, I can't handle this.
Good news or bad news, I don't know, we'll see. And the idea of this is that it could go on and
I don't make money from China, you do. I don't make money from Ukraine, you do. I don't make money from Russia. You made $3.5 million, Joe, and your son gave you, they even have a statement that we have to give 10% to the big man. You're the big man, I think.